Hello and welcome back to Around the Block. Hope you're all doing well today and you're looking forward to another episode. We're back after a little break we had at the end of next week. I feel recharged, I've got a haircut, I'm ready to go. I tell you what, we've got a bit of a cracking first episode as well for this new season with Leipzig. We've got the transfers, obviously, that we brought in over summer. We've got RB Leipzig taking on Borussia Dortmund as well in the league. That's a huge game. And after that, we've got the Champions League group stage draw. We're finally actually playing in a Champions League. We could have done it at CSK Moscow, but we got sacked. We could have done it at Partizan, but we left to go to RB Leipzig instead. And actually, if we'd stayed at Pushka's Academy, we could have done it there because they've got to multiple Champions League group stages since we've left them. So they've done really well. But our time has finally come. Today, we've got the group stage draw after the Dortmund game. So that'll be very exciting to do. In the meantime, let's get straight into the transfer history of what we've done this summer. We've not got rid of anyone particularly because we do actually now have a B team, which is fantastic. I've been able to move loads of our sort of fringe players into the B team to develop them and stuff like that, which would be quite nice because I had to ask the board for a B team. They said yes, you love to see it. Brilliant stuff. Anyway, we didn't sell many players because of that, but we did sell Omar Regic to Galatasaray for 7.25, rising to £9 million. He was our sixth choice centre-back after all these other players came in on 120 grand a week, so he kind of had to go, really, for any sort of price, and that's why he's left the club. On the inside, I have tried to bring in some decent players. We were really looking for a quality left-back and a quality right-winger, and we have brought in a left-back and actually two right-wingers, but they're not quite as good as I wanted. The really good ones we were kind of priced out of the market for by asking prices, which we could have paid, and we did try and pay some of them, but wages, I think two left-backs that we were chasing, one went to Man United, one went to Barcelona. We just couldn't compete with that sort of budget that those clubs have. But I think we have built a really good squad, so I think we've got a good chance this season. So let's introduce you to some of these new players. As you can see, the first few of these, we have raided Brazil for a couple of them. And the first one is Vid Kidrich, who's not actually Brazilian. He's come from, is this Palmeiras in Brazil, but has been bought for them by Maribor before that, interestingly. So he's gone all the way there to play and had a big markup. So they've done very well to make money off him. But he comes in as maybe the best attacking midfielder in the club. Obviously, after we got rid of Dani Olmo, we had a bit of a gap in the attacking midfield. So this guy's coming in to fill that gap. Looks pretty decent, but there's nothing really that stand out about him. He's like really good across the board, nothing hugely stand out, but does have two very good feet, which is quite handy. So that makes him quite a nice versatile player for us. But hopefully he will be very good. Now, at the end of last season, I did speak about needing to have really good quality and depth in our squad to compete on both the Bundesliga and Champions League front. And because of that, we've had to bring in another attacking midfielder. And this chap is also from Brazil, Hilton George Arruda, who looks really, really good. Now, according to our scouts or coaches, isn't quite as good as Kidrich before him, but does seem to have incredible technicals, 18 dribbling, 17 first touch, 17 passing, 18 technique. Really, really quality. I think where he's lacking are the physicals and mentals just a little bit, but like nothing major there. Has had a pretty decent career so far at Flamengo and was actually on loan at Porto last season, interestingly, where he played pretty well, but has come to us for £16 million. I think he'll be a great player for us. To add on to that, we've brought in another striker. We had to get in with someone with a little bit more quality than perhaps we had last season, and Constantine, what a bloody name that is. Constantine. Like, that is the same, isn't it? He's 6'2" and 88 kilos, so maybe we can call him the Big CC or something like that. The Big CC. I quite like that. I might actually rename him to that. If you guys like that, let me know, because I think it's quality. He is a very good striker, really good physically, really good mentally, decent in terms of technicals, but limiting factor, 10 finishing. I'm a little concerned about that. Everything else screams great striker, 10 finishing, not so much. He's a complete forward, so maybe he's a bit more, wanting to pass it to other players and things like that. But I think he'll be good. Obviously, shooting for me is the only thing that needs to massively improve, so we've got him on some finishing training. But once that gets up, I think he'll be a superb striker for us. We've brought him in from Ludogorets, where he did score 13 goals in 27 or 25 appearances last season. So it's not like he doesn't know how to score a goal, it's just his finishing is a little low. For £15.75 million, Roman Klan has come in from Sparta Prague, a centre midfielder, and is going to be a starter for us this season. As you can see, Media description of a wonderkid, has got superb physical stats. His mentals as well for 20 years old are also amazing. And those technicals are only ever going to improve. He looks like a class player already and is only going to get better. I think we've got a real steal with Roman Clan. Spent his whole career at Sparta Prague thus far, playing loads of games. In fact, already got over 100 professional appearances by the age of 20. That is absolutely superb, and that's why he's so good already. So he'll slot straight into our midfield, and I think he's going to be a class player for us. Carlos Alberto, another player coming in from Brazil for 16.5 million, is another centre midfielder, and again, 18 years old. Media description of a wonderkid, got some very good technicals. The mentals and physicals leave a little to be desired for right now, but 18 years old, they're only going to improve. Born in 2012, by the way, that's absolutely mental as well. Born in 2012, that shows how far we are into the future in this game. But again, develop him nicely. He will also be a very good midfielder for us. We then picked up this chap on a free transfer, Zachariah Huari, which I may have mispronounced a little bit there, but he's a right winger. I mean, he was on a free transfer. This is why I went for him. A free transfer on 29 grand a week. I thought if it goes wrong, we've got nothing to lose, essentially, with this kind of guy. But it's more of a squad player. A backup player should we need him. That's the kind of player that we're going to be needing this season when we are in the Champions League. These kind of players to come in and do a shift for us as and when we need them. So I think he will be good for us, but not really a first choicer. Was actually let go by Hoffenheim by looks of things after being on loan at Werder Bremen last season. So he does play in this division, knows all about it, and has over 150 league appearances in this division as well. So knows what he's doing. For £7.75 million, we have boosted our defence just a little bit with this guy who's, again, a little bit more of a backup player. But Nils Elhart comes into the club and again, looks solid, I've got to say, really solid. Not the best we've got, but absolutely solid nonetheless. So we'll come in and do a shift for us. Our fifth best centre-back apparently, but really, we need players to come in to provide cover, fill in for suspensions, fill in for players when they're tired or injured. So we need a player like him, and he looks solid to me, so I'm very happy to welcome him to the club. And again, 150 appearances for Hertha Berlin across, the Bundesliga, which is mental. So already is very well versed in this division at only 22 years old. The penultimate signing of the summer transfer window was this guy, Sebastian Garrett, coming in from Borussia for £5 million. We had to just have someone else in at left back because we only really had Buncevic, who was there. So essentially we had to get someone else in to provide some more cover to the squad. And again, he was like our fourth choice, or I say fourth, fifth, maybe even sixth or seventh choice, because we just found it so hard to bring him a left back we wanted for the right price. And we had to get someone, and even if they weren't going to be, the new first choice player. So, I mean, this guy looks pretty decent. If we compare him with Harish Buncevic, there's not a huge amount of difference. Buncevic is a bit better in terms of maybe the technical stuff, whereas Sebastian is a little bit better in terms of the physical stuff. And what they say that vision as well and attacking is a little better. But again, it looks like a decent player. And will cover very nicely behind Haris Buncevic as and when needed. And finally, for what has turned out to be the most expensive transfer of our transfer window, is Francisco Trincao for £25 million from Wolfsburg. A right winger who goes against the grain of my usual transfers. He's 31 years old, but we had to get someone else in who could provide a bit of cover on the right and left wing. And this guy can do it perfectly. He can play on the right wing, can play on the left wing. Is actually really, really good. Probably actually going to be our first choice on that right wing, but can provide cover on either side. Really good dribbling, really good first touch, really good composure and technique and passing. Has got everything because obviously he's a very good player at this stage of his career. Has played at Barcelona, PSG, Borussia Mönchengladbach and Wolfsburg, who bought him £58 million. So is a very, very good player and has been highly rated throughout his career. And the past few seasons at Wolfsburg, above 7 ratings, over 10 goals a season, looks solid. So hopefully he'll do the same for us and will be quality. So they are all our transfers. It could have been a bit of a better transfer window if we got our first choice targets for left back and right wing, but we've had to settle on the players that we've brought in. These sort of young players that we've got, they were my first choice for a long time. I saw them as basically when I go on the scout reports, player search, for example, And you can look down on the list. I've got a bit that says media description. So I always just look for Wonderkids, and they all listed as themselves as Wonderkids. So I just signed them on the basis that they were Wonderkids, essentially, and looked pretty decent right now. So we've got plenty of Wonderkids in the squad now. Now, we have already played 2 competitive games this season. One 6-0 win in the Cup against a regional team, so that was a pretty easy win. Before we opened up the season with a 2-1 win over FC Cologne, which was amazing. This season, I think we can mount a challenge for the title, I think. Now, the new players that have come in, the season preview, they reckon we are favourites for 3rd this season, which is where we finished last season. Now, a few of you were pretty keen to point out, actually, at the end of last episode, that we had 2 games to go, and we're actually less than 6 points away from Bayern Munich at the top, which actually I failed to see. So you said, no, don't end the episode there, you could have won the title. The answer to that is no, we couldn't win the title because Bayern Munich had a game in hand on us, which they won, and then won the title literally the day after the game we played last time out. So we couldn't have won the league title, although it did look like it at the time. Bayern Munich went on to win the league title, as you can see, 6 points clear of Borussia Dortmund, and we ended up on 65 points after we lost to Borussia Dortmund as well on the final day of the season. So we weren't ever going to win the league title, unfortunately. But what I've done is look through literally every single season, because Bayern Munich won it on 76 points, which seems a little bit low, I must say. So I went back through every season, and barely anyone wins the league title with more than 79 points. Borussia Dortmund won 81 points one season, 2023-24. But other than that, 80 points guarantees you the league title in every season but one, which seems pretty low. So our target this season, obviously, is 80 points. 27 wins gets us 81 points, and we play 34 games in the season. Theoretically, I think we should be getting that. I mean, it shouldn't be that difficult, he says. If we are favourites for 3rd in the league, and if we beat everyone below us in the table twice, that's more than enough points we need to win the league title. So theoretically, to me, it's possible. It's just whether the players have got it in them to do it. And we know we've got the defence to do it, because last season we had a really good defensive record. It was going forward where we lacked a little bit. We had to score a few more goals. That was maybe a little bit of our trouble. We had too many draws potentially. But for me, I think we've got to be pushing for the league title this season. And that is why this first game of the season against Borussia Dortmund is so important. Because if we win this game against Borussia Dortmund, then that gives us a real platform to build a title challenge from this season. So this is the starting lineup that we are going to be going for then. Andre Luis starts in goal with Haris Buncevic at left back. Blažević, Diogo and Ferraro make up the rest of that back line. New player Clan comes into the midfield there alongside Moravsky playing as that box-to-box midfielder. Jezovic retains his place on the left-hand side, but Kidrich comes into the attacking midfield for this game. Trincao on the right and Rogler starting up front. That's the team. Let's go and beat Borussia Dortmund. Got to do the team talk myself still because Shitty still doesn't want to come back to the club. I've tried to get him back all summer. He's just not wanted to come, which is rather frustrating. So I'm leaving it open for him so he can come back to the club. I know a few of you in the comment section have been saying, Tom, just get an actual proper assistant manager in. And to that, I say, unsubscribe. If it's not Shitty, it's no one. Please don't actually unsubscribe because we scored a goal. We scored a goal. Wow. I was trying to tell you guys not to unsubscribe there, but we've just scored a goal. You love to see it. Lucas Rogler gets one within 90 seconds. So Diogo put it forward to Ferraro. Ferraro, the right back, putting it across the middle. Rogler's there. Goal. You love to see it. I'm hoping Rogler is going to be our talisman this season. He's still got his 17 finishing, and 17 finishing is ridiculously good. So hopefully he's going to be scoring plenty of goals for us. We need him to this season as Andre Luis gets an own goal there, unfortunately. Shouldn't have gone on the back of a net, but it has done. And it does count. I thought it was going to be like gone for offside or something like that. No, apparently not. I mean, Ferraro, after being the hero for setting up the previous goal, has just given it away to Xerxes, and God, that should not have gone in. You hate to see it. Let me know in the comment section, though, where do you think we're going to come this season? I really think we could win the title. Like, 27 wins for 81 points? I think it's doable. Really. It means, essentially, we can slip up in another 7 games as well. So, I mean, there's room for error. There's a bit of room for error in all of it. But as we approach half-time, with only the 2 highlights of the first half resulting in the 2 goals, of course, a bit of a boring game so far. More goals needed, please, for us. The attacking midfield of our team not playing particularly well. Trincao on a 6.3 and Kidrich and Jezovic on a 6.4. We need to sort that one out a little bit as we've just put it wide of the post there from that free kick. Unlucky. But I think we do need to be making some changes. I think Trincao's going to come off for Adeyemi, and let's take Kidrich off for Arudu, who has those really, really insanely high mental technical attributes. So hopefully he can use those to an advantage and get a few assists to finish off the game as Clan plays it into Murovski. Murovski coming forward with it. Can he get it into anyone in particular? Harish Buncevic just about wins possession back to Murovski into Blazvic. Come on, lads, forward nicely. That's not great, but that's a huge interception, but it's gone nowhere, unfortunately. And Borussia Dortmund looking to bring it forward. Giovanni Reina on the ball. Tackled? Not quite tackled. Come on, lads. I can feel a goal coming from someone here because the highlight is a really long one, so I feel like there's a goal coming. And it looks like it's going to be for Borussia Dortmund right now as Giovanni Reina into the middle, just over the bar by Xerxes. Come on, lads. Let's go attacking. Let's go get creative. And in a moment's time, we might bring someone else on the pitch. I feel like we've got a lot more quality in our depth this season. I'm a lot more comfortable making changes, thinking that they're actually going to have an impact on the game. I think they actually could work as that's a great ball forward. Jezovic, can he get past his man? He does. Jez in the middle. Jez shoots. Oh, he just puts it wide. Jez, so unlucky there. He's been a superb player for us the past season or so. So really does deserve to score some goals. We're going to take Clan off and bring Carlos Alberto on the pitch, the other young attacking centre midfielder. Hopefully he can just create a bit of magic in there, the young... is he Brazilian? Most of them are Brazilian. I'm assuming he's Brazilian as he comes forward on the ball and, okay, maybe not creating the magic that we quite need. He is Brazilian. He is Brazilian. You love to see it. Fantastic stuff. Unfortunately, though, it wasn't quite enough there. But I've got to say, a 1-1 draw with Dortmund, it's not the worst results. Okay, I told you we could slip up 7 times this season. That's one of those 7 times. Okay, that's one of those 7 times already gone. But it does mean that temporarily we do go top of the table. So we can live with that. As long as we stay top of the table, that's absolutely fine by me. As you can see though, Champions League group stage draw coming up in a few days' time. So we'll do that and then finish off today's episode. Oh no. After all that excitement, I just was mashing the spacebar to get to the Champions League group stage draw. And I've gone past it and it's done it without us. And by looks of things, we've been given a ridiculously tough group. I mean, this is just, oh, what an anticlimax to the episode. Okay, so PSG, Man City, Dynamo Kiev. I mean, we've got 3rd in the bag. I'd say we've got 3rd in the bag. I'm not sure about beating Man City or PSG, though. That's very tough. Oh, I'm so annoyed I missed that. Because that's my favourite part of the season, like the group stage draws for European football. For whatever reason, it just always is my favourite part of the season. I always get gutted when I do this by accident sometimes. Well, there we go. That's the excitement over. We've got our Champions League group stage group, and it is really tough. Really tough. As you can see, PSG have won the Champions League on 4 occasions, have they? Let's have a quick look at the past winners then. So in the 12 seasons that have gone by so far, 5 of them have been won by teams in our group. So... it's not great for us, is it? Saying that, though, Borussia Mönchengladbach and Bayer Leverkusen have got to the final in recent years. So maybe I'm doing us a bit of a disservice. Maybe we are a bit better than what I'm maybe thinking it's going to be like. Next episode, then, I reckon we come back for the Man City game and Werder Bremen as well. I think that'll be quite interesting games to do. And then we can skip that Dynamo Kiev one. Maybe it should go all the way through to these 2 games here and then a Dynamo Kiev one at the end. But yeah, I think we'll do that next episode, City and Werder Bremen. So thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. And of course, if you have done, drop a like on the video for me and subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. And I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Goodbye.